Creating wealth starts with knowing how to handle money. I'm Anthony Peluso, founder of Wealth for Life. I've built my own multi-million dollar property portfolio and helped thousands of Australians achieve their financial goals. I get asked hundreds of questions, and here are my answers. Ask Anthony. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Ask Anthony in sunny Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Today I'm going to talk to you about where to invest, okay? The best parts of Australia, the best states of Australia to invest, okay? Now, as the property market in Australia, specifically Melbourne and Sydney, starts to recover and head north, there's lots of information and data coming out of usually from companies and people that have a vested interest in selling real estate that advise that you should look at areas like Queensland, Brisbane, Darwin, South Australia, Western Australia, and other parts of Australia, okay? Now, here's the advice I'm going to give you, and my advice comes purely based on results and experience, okay? I'm not going to talk to you about anything that I haven't experienced myself or my clients haven't experienced with the end result, okay? If you're looking to make money, create money, accumulate wealth in real estate, using real estate as that vehicle, the only two cities that you should be investing in Australia are Melbourne and Sydney, okay? You know, other parts of Australia like Queensland, Brisbane, they're great if you want to buy a house to retire. Yes, the weather's better, the pace is much slower, okay? And there's a reason for that, okay? But you're not going to make money, or you're not going to make as much money in any other state other than Melbourne and Sydney. This has been my experience and that of my clients. And we've got close to 13,000 clients, okay? And they've come to us with properties in those parts of Australia, and all of them have performed poorly compared to how they could have performed if they had bought in Melbourne and Sydney. Now, obviously, some people buy bad, or they buy in an overpriced market, or they buy the wrong type of property. That I'll give you that. That's granted. But you know, I'm dealing with one beautiful couple right now who have got property in Western Australia, and the value of those properties is actually less than the actual loans that they hold. So they're in a position where they can't even dispose of the asset, because they owe more than what the value of the properties are, right? They were sucked in like everybody else that jumped over to Western Australia 10 years ago when the property boom happened with the mining, mining, BHP, and all those mining companies going out to Western Australia, okay? If people had paid attention like the smart people did, they would have seen that Perth and Western Australia was only growing by 2% over the last 15 years prior. Then it spikes up and you get ridiculous growth in cash flow from your properties. Then BHP and Rio Tinto pull their business out of Western Australia. Bang, the market collapses. Nobody else needs to work over there. Nobody needs to live over there. Thank you very much. We've done our work. We're now leaving the city. Okay? And then you get back to that 2% growth. Okay? So there's a reason why I say if you're looking to invest in real estate to make money, go to Melbourne, go to Sydney. There are 4 reasons. Number 1, employment. Okay, if you have a look at the multinationals in Australia, all the big companies in Australia, your Telstras, your Optuses, your Rio Tintos, your BHPs, all of them have head offices in either Melbourne or Sydney. In most cases, both. Okay, so this is where the employment opportunities are. Okay, up the eastern seaboard, predominantly Melbourne or Sydney. Okay, this then drives in the population. So if you look at Australia's migration plan, funny thing is I was talking to a migration consultant on Sunday night up in Sydney, and the government now has almost restricted or put some caveats around people moving into Australia where they can't go into Melbourne or Sydney anymore. They're almost forced to go into regional areas, okay, just to spread the population. But where's their first place that they want to go to? Sydney and Melbourne, okay? Why? That's where the employment opportunities are, okay? 2, that's why they're attracting population, right? So at a macro level, thank you. At a macro level, right, it's employment and population. That's the key drivers, okay? Number 1, You want to know how to pay off the mortgage on your home in the fastest possible way. How about understanding and learning how you can become debt-free forever? Imagine paying less tax and having more money going to your pay packet every fortnight. What about securing your financial future in your retirement so you never have to worry and stress about money ever again? These are the things that we go through with you in a one-on-one consultation. Some of the results that we've achieved for our clients by sitting down with us one-on-one, we had one couple who created $300,000 in 14 months. We had another gentleman who's gone on to amass a fortune in real estate that's going to pay him $200,000 per annum for the rest of his life when he stops working. These are just some of the things that come out by sitting down with our advisors in a one-on-one consultation. Get your goal planning and you get your financial planning and your goal setting right in 2019. Take advantage of the tremendous opportunities that exist in the Australian property market right now. Call 1300 793877 or visit wealthforlife.com.au and book an appointment in with one of our investment advisors to get your money right in 2019. People have moved into these cities, they need a place to live, okay? So the smart move is always to go and live or invest in areas that have got existing infrastructure, okay? So the infrastructure is already in place. Train stations, okay? Tram lines, bus routes, arterial links that can get you into the CBD very, very quickly, right? And infrastructure even goes out to things like schools and parks and retail and cafes, okay? You need to be in those areas, okay? And then for the smart guy, invest in areas where there's planned infrastructure, okay? See, I'm an investor. I'd want to know where the next Westfield shopping town is going into, okay? I'd want to know where the government is spending their money, okay? So when they release the budget every year in Australia and they allocate spending to each state, right? Have a look at where that money flows and then have a look at where the government is spending it. That's a pretty good indicator of probably where you should start to look at investing, okay? And this is what gives you that unfair advantage as opposed to just doing what everybody else does and just goes and buys where their friends and family tell them to buy, right? Be smart about your investment, okay? You don't have to play the same game like everybody else does. In fact, if you play the same game as everybody else does, you'll end up with probably no more than 2 properties. And let me tell you, in any language, that's not freedom, okay? So you need to be smarter than the average punter, the average investor out there, okay? Because if you do what everybody else does, you'll get everybody else's results. You've heard me say this before, that is the truth. Have a look at what people are doing out there right now, okay? Most people are not doing well financially, okay? Our household debt is astronomical right now compared to our income. Another reason why banks have put such strict lending criteria on there, people can't keep up right now. Their incomes are not covering their expenses, okay? So you need to do things a lot smarter than the average person. Going out on a Saturday and bidding for property at an auction is the slow way to create wealth, okay? You're doing what everybody else does and you're going to get everybody else's results. You need to play the game a little bit smarter. You need to look at what the super rich do and play the game much, much smarter. Stay away from Brisbane, Queensland, Western Australia, Darwin, South Australia. You're not going to make anywhere near as much money there as you would in Melbourne and Sydney, okay? For the reasons I've given above. Now, I've got property in Brisbane, and I can tell you my worst performing properties in Melbourne and Sydney have done far, far better than my best properties in Brisbane, okay? So I'm talking from experience here, okay? And all of our clients that come and see us, they bring with them a portfolio of properties outside of Melbourne and Sydney. None of them have performed. We advise that they sell. They take whatever equity they've got, release the debt, and put that debt against the better performing asset in Melbourne or Sydney, okay? Now, you're going to get people that will go against that. My advice to you, go look at their results. Go have a look at their results. Show me in the last 15 years where anything outside of Melbourne and Sydney has performed better than even the worst properties in Melbourne and Sydney, okay? So be smart. You know, we're all got a limited amount of money available to us at any given time. Use it wisely, you know. And make sure that, you know, you're buying for capital appreciation, okay, so that's capital growth, increasing value over time, and strong cash flow. Come on, guys, have a look at the market, right? You've got interest rates right now that are almost, in fact, there are lenders out there right now offering interest rates sub 3%, okay? If you do some arithmetic, some math, you'll find that you can be cash flow positive before tax on a really good purchase and a really good finance structure. So take advantage of that cheap money and get yourself into some good property right now, okay? But focus on capital growth, okay? Increase in value and strong cash flow, okay? You need both, okay? If all you focus on is capital growth, you'll run out of money, okay? You have to put so much money out of your own pocket that it'll start to stretch your finances and impact your lifestyle if all you do is focus on capital growth. But you need a combination of both, because if all you do is buy cash flow positive properties, you'll never have enough equity to be able to go again and again and again and again, okay? $300,000 in 14 months. $200,000 passive income for the rest of your life when you stop working. $200,000 in capital growth over a 2-year period. These are some of the results that our clients have achieved over the last 12 months. We're going to be running some special events in a town, in a city near you over the coming weeks called an Evening with Wealth for Life. Get in the market right now and take advantage of the ride that's about to take place. Go onto our website or call us on 1300 793 877 and make a time to book in and come to one of these events. I was talking to an associate of mine on the weekend who's got 6,000 properties overseas, cash flowing him, wait for it, 6,000 apartments, cash flowing him just under $130 million a year. Okay, also increasing in value. Now, a lot of you guys out there are never going to be able to accumulate 6,000 properties that brings in that type of gross income, okay? So don't put your attention or chase these cash flow yielding properties at the expense of capital growth, okay? It will hurt you later on, I promise you, okay? When you don't have an increase in value, you're stuck. Your investment strategy is stuck because you have no more equity to use to further your investment strategy, okay? So make sure you've got a really good combination of both. And hey, you know what? That's what we do here at Wealth for Life. Come and have a chat to us. You know, we are very good at what we do. Yeah, and I'm actually absolutely proud to say that and can say that hand on heart. What do I base that on? Results, case studies, okay? When our clients come and see us, right, if they follow our model, they will make money. They will hold on to that money. We will show them how to multiply that money and put them on that path to financial freedom, okay? Certainly not going to say it's going to happen overnight, and you're going to have to change a few things, but believe me, it is worth the effort. It is worth the conversation, all right? So to sum it up, guys, if you're getting into the property market, focus on Melbourne and Sydney only, okay? Don't get sucked into going into these other states of Australia where it's cheaper and somebody's giving you a very clever marketing brochure, Brisbane tip to outperform the rest of the market. It's all bullshit, okay? I've heard it all before. I've been doing this for 20 years. And I heard the days in the late 2000s and mid 2000s when they were talking about areas like Coomera and Ormo up in Queensland. Whatever happened to those places taking off, right? Rail going in, trains going in. Don't fall for that, guys. Have a look at what the city you're investing in has done over the last 20, 30, 40 years, okay? It needs to have a very good track record of outperforming the market, okay? Focus on those macro levels, okay? Employment, population must be strong, must be dense, okay? There's your competition, okay? Then look for existing infrastructure and planned infrastructure at a micro level. You've got to have those 4 factors, okay? And then you can start to drill in and get really specific with suburbs, streets, amenities, orientation, aspect, that kind of thing, all right? So hopefully you got something out of that. I know I did. Thank you so much for listening in. If you've got any questions, please post below. Any comments, any feedback, we'd love to hear that. More importantly, we're finishing up with winter. I think by the time you see this, we'll be into spring in Melbourne. The sun's out. Everybody's feeling good. When you feel good, get your money to work for you. Come and see us at Wealth for Life. 1300 if you're in Australia, 793877 or wealthforlife.com.au. We would love to sit down with you and help you get your money right in 2019. Thanks, guys.